Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, from CasterMuse Season 3 Star League, it's going to be Rush versus Soma. Here on Neo Sylphid, top side of the map, we have a red Terran player. It is Rush. And on the bottom left-hand side, it is a blue Zerg player, Soma. Alright, so Soma's been looking really excellent recently. Rush has as well. They both got to the round of 8 in Season 3 of CasterMuse's tournament. And yeah, go ahead and support CasterMuse. I put his details of how you can support him in the description. He's a really awesome guy. He's helping keep Brood War alive by organizing this tournament, and he's a cool dude as well. Alright, so a ZVT here for your Saturday. And again, another recent match for your Falcon Paladin cast today. I know everybody likes the legends, right? Flash, Jaedong, Bisu, Idra, White Ra, In Control, Artosis, all the well-known names, but I just kind of want to introduce you guys to the current elite stars of StarCraft Brood War. Soma is on the rise here. He's going to be an elite Zerg player for a very, very long time. I can feel it in my bones, and Rush is going to be a good player as well. So familiarize yourself with these two players, and you will be pretty darn set up to understand and follow Brood War into the future. It looks like a 12 hatch here from Soma. Nothing too crazy. A little bit aggressive on the macro, but I think it's worth the risk here on this 3-player map, Neo Sylphid. And we've cast a few games on this map already, but I had somebody in Discord ask me to explain a couple of these maps. So basically, this is your natural. Pretty easy to wall off here if you're Protoss. And I don't know, if you're Terran, you're not worried about that. This is a third base you can take, no gas. This is a third base you can take with gas, but it has 2 pretty darn wide ramps that you need to defend. If you're Terran, go ahead and throw up tanks here. No big deal. And it's a 3-player map, right? So this is the third spawn position. This is the natural sim pretty much all the way around. And just wide open area here in the middle, which benefits Zerg. So, I don't know. We'll have to see if we have some high ground tanks. We'll have to see if there are going to be some surrounds here from Soma. I'm pretty much guaranteeing that we will. Because, you know, Soma's an excellent Zerg player and understands the concept of surrounding your enemy, which, anyway, is important. Okay, so racks expand. I mean, nothing too crazy, honestly, out of Soma at all. Overlord pokes in to see what's going on and did manage, I think, to see the lack of gas. Pretty good indication it's not going to be a one-base play. Like, if you're going to go racks into factory, gas is going to be taken by now. But no gas tells you there's an expansion coming up over here. Nothing too crazy. He really wants to kill this SCV. Like, he really wants this SCV to not see what's going on, which is a darn fast lair, faster than metabolic boosts. So you are delaying speed for Zerglings in order to get up your Mutalisks faster. And that's an indication. That is just going to tell you, okay, I know the exact timing I need to get my engineering bay up and my missile turrets up, and we're going to call it good. So that's it, man. The SCV got in there in a time to see the time on the lair. I'm fairly sure... I mean, I think he wouldn't have left unless he'd seen it. Whoa. Or maybe he hasn't, and he's like, okay, I really need to see the timing on that lair. I'm going to send in a full health SCV just to make sure I see what's going on down there. Because, yeah, I mean, this is... Metabolic boost is on the way now. And I mean, I guess based on the fact that speed's not done for these Lings, you have to know that it's a lair at this point. But just checking is nice. Okay, excellent, says Rush. This is definitely gonna be Mutalisks. There's nothing else it can be here. There's no Hydralisk Den. There's no attempt... Oh, did he just block? That was hot. He just totally blocked that SCV's path by throwing up his Spire back there, and extra couple hits, and the SCV is dead. So, I mean, he's just like, I mean, maybe it could be a canceled Spire, which would be a weird mind game to play, but just making sure. Just making sure he knows what's going on as long as he can. The SCV does fulfill its purpose and dies. This is a good number of Lings, actually. This is more Lings than I would expect, but Soma loves his Lings, man. He makes Mutaling look overpowered in the games that I've cast of his thus far on the channel. Honestly, if you're a Zerg player and you're into Brood War, Soma's somebody you need to watch because he's kind of a magician here. I mean, what I've seen him do with Ling Muta just completely boggles the mind. So we'll see if he does that here. Third base here with the gas. And again, high ground you can defend, which is really nice. You can toss a couple lurkers up here pretty much not worry about Terran until they have siege tanks out. Ling's actually darting in behind the attack. Is he going to force? I don't know, man. Rush is like, forget it. I got 2 fire bats. We can handle this. Whoosh. Whoosh. The sound of fire bats in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he did not back out at all. He could kill this third. He could kill this third if he knew it existed, which is what we saw. Oh, hold on. No, we just worried about the Lings. Do you remember we saw Piano? Who was that? Piano versus Hyuk on the channel a couple weeks ago now, if you remember that game. That was Hyuk's third base got murdered by this timing. This little 5-minute, 6 Marine, couple fire bat, maybe 1 fire bat and 1 medic push. And completely destroyed Hyuk's third base before it was even done. And that set Hyuk back so much. It was so brutal. But look, no. He didn't know that it was there. He was worried about the Lings on the counterattack again. He came back home, which is exactly what Soma wanted him to do. I mean, there's 2 Sunkens up. He wasn't sure that was what's going to happen. He was better prepared than not prepared, obviously. But the mutas are in. The turrets are up. I mean, there's only 3 Mutalisks here. It's not like we're going nuts on those yet. Although 3 are in production, so nuts may be coming. +1 attack on those dudes on the way. Obviously, range coming in for the Marines, as well as +1 attack and more medics in the group. So we've got 6 mutas flapping their wings like hummingbirds, taking it safe here, going after a supply depot, trying to supply block rush, which this will supply block rush. If it's going to go down, absolutely. All right, that's cool. So supply block on the Terran player is a good way to start the game. Nothing huge. Right? He didn't kill 20 SCVs or even, I don't know, more than 1 or 2 SCVs possibly. That third gas is coming up. Remember what I said. Mutas and Lings and mutas and Lings and mutas and Lings. He's very, very good at it. He's going to be getting 4 more Mutalisks as we speak, man. And I mean, if you're the Terran, it's just got to be Marines and more turrets than you want to build. Ooh, nice little dart forward there by Rush. I love that. I love the dart forward by Rush. Muta's just playing the pick-off missile turret game, killing SCVs on the top side of this natural base. There we go, whittling them down. Time again here. 26 to 24 workers. Terran is up, but not by much. Not where he wants to be at the 7-minute mark. I think the Mutas have done pretty well for themselves. None of them died, which is actually kind of a miracle. Anyone who's trying to do Mutalisk harass against Terran when they have turrets is pretty darn grateful if they get out of there without losing a single Mutalisk. They're not going to complain about that at all. But yeah, man, this is... What did I say? What did I tell you about the Mutalisk production? He's got 12. He has so many. He needs the Overlord in the group to do the stacking trick, and 1 Mutalisk has to stay home. He overmade Mutalisks at this point. He is getting Hydralisk down behind it. So maybe he will... Maybe he will bump this into Hydralisks. But again, I'm telling you, I've seen him beat Terrans solely on the backs of Mutalisks and Zerglings, and that's it. No Lurkers, no Defilers, no nothing. Is crazy. Okay, so here's group number 2 of Mutalisks. We have group 1, and then we have group 2. I'm telling you, this guy likes Mutas more than anybody since vanilla StarCraft when Mutas were unstoppable. I'm telling you, this is nuts. I mean, this is Rush using vanilla StarCraft defense, right? Turrets, Marines. I think the range upgrade existed in vanilla StarCraft, but in Brood War, that's when they gave everybody the tools to deal with Mutalisks. That's when the range upgrade for the Goliaths came about. That's when Valkyries came about. That's when Corsairs came in. So anything, if you've ever died to a million Mutalisks and figured out the counter to that, that's Brood War talking. But yeah, at this stage, it's just Marines. It's Marines. It's turrets here for Rush. He's getting a starport. The number of barracks indicates at this point, we're probably going for the 6 racks play, 5 or 6 racks play off 2 bases, getting third when you can, but just having enough Marines. The Mutas don't like engaging, but this is not the greatest control from Rush, unfortunately. He's, again, that guy on the edge, on the periphery is the big word I like to use there. You're just gonna die. Like, if you're not balled up in the middle of this group, you're gonna be toast, is what's gonna happen, unfortunately. Mutas. Flippity flappidin. I mean, do you maybe want to try to take down that factory? There's like 3 turrets covering it, though, so probably not. Meanwhile, a couple lurkers coming in. Hive on the way from Soma back home, which is great. Rush still doesn't have a third at 10 minutes. But eventually, right? Eventually there's enough Marines that the mutas aren't going to be as effective. You would think, but look at this control. Look at it. He lost a muta recently, which sucks. He's down to 8, or rather 10. Counting is easy when you're casting. Just look at this. Rush coming all the way home. Rush is like, no, please stop. Stop slowly murdering me with a billion paper cuts. One mutalisk glabe worm at a time. I'd rather you not do that, friend. Defiler round on the way here, too. This does not really feel that great, I think, for Rush. Look at, just, he's at almost 11 minute, the 11-minute mark. His Muta Harass is still keeping Rush at home. Rush has not tried to take a third yet. He has basically to get a Radiate, he feels like, before he can move out. Which is nuts. Look at him, he's trying to trap the Mutalisks. He's got a group down here. He's got a group in the mineral field. He's just completely wholly focused on this. He's obviously getting upgrades. He's obviously getting additional units. It's not like he's floating money or anything. Yeah, Lurker S. Oh, Lurker actually coming in. We saw Lurker aspect done. First Defiler on the way. Consume on the way. Irradiate almost complete. But Rush just being completely backed into 2 bases here. And everything Soma's doing, he has the recipe at this point. Just about. I mean, Dark Swarm, Ling, Muta, Lurker is going to be amazing against this. Of course, the reason that you're making Science Vessels is to counter that, where you're irradiating the Lurkers, irradiating the Mutalisks, irradiating the Defilers, especially high priority targets there. And try not to catch Plagues to your face, because I think once this Consume is done, Plague's going to get started, based on the strategy that Rush is rolling with here. So if he's going to go for the third base, not a bad idea. I mean, I was going to say, if there's only 2 Lurkers here. There are 4 Lurkers here, so we irradiated 2 of them. Yep. Dos Luqueros. Sounds like vaquero, which is cowboy. Real cowboys. Anyway. Ling Lurker sneak attack coming up this right side. I assume they're going to try to get themselves into the natural base. I don't know where else they're going to attack. There's no third yet. If there was a third, I think they'd go for it, obviously. But as it stands, good irradiate. Mutalisks are popping out. Radiate down. Mutalisk down. I don't know what these guys were. Okay, so we're consuming and we're moving. Does he think? He doesn't have any vision if there's a third or not. But he's not even checking it. So he's just going to bypass, maybe, oh, hang on. Okay, he's going to bypass it. Oh, third base is going to try to get set up here, but this is brutal. This is all of a sudden extremely brutal. Come on, Dark Swarm, go. There it is. So there's your Dark Swarm. The Defiler, protects himself with another Dark Swarm. And suddenly, the natural base is just a disaster zone. Goodbye, fare thee well. All mining at the natural base for some time, but finally irradiating. No. Irradiating the Lurkers, which seems pretty smart. I mean, there's no kills on this one, which kind of sucks. The Lurker probably wanted to get a kill before everything was said and done, but ooh, Scourge got a connection. Very, very nice indeed. Additional Lurker, Scourge, no Plague on the way, which I'm a little bit disappointed about, but that's okay. And really, just shutting down all the mining at this base for as long as he did is pretty good. I mean, this Defiler is dead, and he knows it. He's dead, and he knows it. Mutas, again, the Mutas do not go out of style for Soma. He still has them. I don't know if he's going to make any more. But by golly, they are alive at 14 minutes. They are doing work. They are killing medics and Marines. Not enough energy to throw and irradiate. There we go. Irradiate that dude instead. Dark Swarm on the ramp. Excellent. Still no third base. Rush, we're at 14 minutes, friend. I like this Splinter attack, though. That's a free Defiler if you want it. He did want it. Dark Swarm, a defensive spell as well. It doesn't protect buildings, but it does protect your units that are protecting said buildings. There's the Plague! Ooh! Why didn't I see Plague getting researched? You guys in the comments are like, stupid Blind Falcon. He didn't see Plague getting researched. It's his favorite spell. It's not. Look, the story about this is the Korean casters for Brood War love making a huge deal about Plague, even if it doesn't do anything. Like, even if you plague science vessels and they safely pull back to their army and none of them die and the Terran's actively repairing them, they'll be like, Plague-o! Just going nuts about it. So I decided to bring some excitement into play. A bit of an engagement there, nothing too major. Scouting with the science facility, sure. This is actually looking a tiny bit dicey for Soma all of a sudden. Maybe Soma getting a 4th base was too greedy. Maybe rush on 2 bases and 109 supply is going to be problematic here. Trying to get up that ramp. That's not happening with you guys. There's like 4 of you. Oh, Muta's getting obliterated. Yeah, I think we might be done with Mutalisk. Obviously, Chitus Plating's on the way, so we're going to see some Ultras eventually. Science Vessel gets sniped, but providing vision really important here. Lurker down, but the reinforcing units are coming in. It's looking all so scary for Rush. Too much Zerg. Getting that surround. The Zerglings do not have adrenal glands. I don't... Maybe they do. Hard to tell. Easier when they're attacking buildings. No, I don't think they do. The attacking sound does not sound quick enough. Free dropship. Nope, not a free dropship at all, actually. This is a pretty good game, actually. So 3rd base is coming up from the Terran. But the 4th base is kept alive by Soma. His 3rd base hasn't really been so much bothered at all at this stage. I can't imagine Adrenal Glands is not done. We're 16 minutes into this thing. He's had a high for like 6 minutes. There's no way. Also, guess what? Lings are coming into your 3rd base. Do you have any defense there at all? No? Huh. Well, all these SCVs are dead. Preemptively lifting the command center. Like, well, the command center probably shouldn't die. We don't want that to happen. Ling's getting obliterated. He's really trying to drop in here, but Plague-o again! All over. Oh, catching every one of these science vessels, I think. Something along those lines. Oh, just drop it in the 4th base, though. Priority is killing the lurkers. Jeez, that's a lot of dead Marines. There's still lurker spines coming in. The drones are standing on top of the lurker. The Ultras are here to defend it, though. Okay, well, the Ultras have arrived. It's largely Marine here. Do we have any answer for Ultras other than Irradiate to some extent? Maybe. This is looking bad. All right, so Ling Ultra up on the 3rd base. Pretty open 3rd base. Here on Neo Sylphid, not great if you're trying to avoid Ultralisk infestations. Anabolic Synthesis is not done, so there's slow Ultralisks, which are not my favorite forms of Ultralisks. It's like slow Lings, man. Slow Lings and slow Ultras are just bad news. I'm just gonna moving a bunch of Lings up in here. Alright, that's your good game. That's just too much. Too much Ultralisk. And that's your game. Soma comes out on top in 18.5 minutes. And Rush forced to tap out here. Just too much Ling Ultra. Didn't do enough damage economically is really what it came down to. He didn't kill a single base. He killed a couple drones. I think down on this drop at the 4th base is when he did hit any economic damage at all. But I mean, nothing touched the main. Nothing touched the natural. And I think, again, Soma's Ling Mutalisk control is so good. He can just keep Rush at home with Mutas and Lings while he just happily drones up behind it, happily expands behind it, happily techs up to a hive, up to a defiler mound, up to an Ultralisk cavern eventually, and then just has a 50 worker economy on 4 bases, goes ahead, wipes out the 3rd, attacks into the natural for the 2nd time today. And it's largely a Marine army, and Marine armies do not trade well against Ultralisks, especially when they have 5 armor, soon to be 6 armor with that Carapace upgrade. They just don't. They tickle the Ultras to death. Unless you have a lot of them, and he just didn't have enough of them. The Irradiates were good, but yeah, he just needed a better macro. His 3rd base was late because he was dealing with the Mutalisk harass for so long. And that's it, man. I think that's our recipe for success here for Soma. This was not Soma winning directly on the backs of Mutalisks and Lings for the entire game, which again, I promise you we have seen, which is still nuts to me. But this is instead using Mutalisk and Lings to such an effect that he's able to feel safe, be at home. He never had anybody fire on these sunken colonies. He never had anybody approach this third base with any kind of ill intent without fleeing from it because of the lurkers and the Dark Swarm that was there. The Nidus Canal defending it is required. And then the fourth base was a little bit greedy, took some damage, but in the end it wasn't enough. And then just the upgrades, man. The upgrades on the Ultras, the upgrades on the Mutalisks. Science Vessels going down to Scourge all over the place. The salad was complete for Soma. That's what it comes down to. All right, end of the day, 108,000 points here for the Zerg, 82,000 for the Terran. Oh, apparently this was a brown versus magenta game. Red versus blue, though. Produced 300 to 250 units, killed 180 to 133. I mean, this isn't, like, hugely in favor of Soma, right? These numbers aren't like, yes, that's exactly why Soma won, is because of the produced and killed ratio. They're good for both. But let's see, is it resource? Yeah, largely resources. That is so much gas. And again, I know it's a lot of marine production for Rush. He doesn't need a ton of gas. The gas is going to go to upgrades and it's going to go to science vessels and dropships and stuff. But still, that's so much gas. You out-mineral mined the Terran pretty easily. And this is the number right here. Outspent by 9,000 resources in just 18 minutes. That'll do, pig. That'll do. All right. Whew. Well, that was a good one. Hope you enjoyed it, because that's going to be it for me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you enjoyed what you heard and what you saw today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thanks for hanging out, enjoying your Saturday, and you take care of yourself.